U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has told Panama's President José Raul Mulino to reduce Chinese influence over the Panama Canal. At talks in Panama City, Rubio said that if Mulino did not take action, the Trump administration would intervene. Mulino denied the existence of any such influence. He also said he would not negotiate with the U.S. over the canal's ownership. But he offered help repatriating some Panamanian migrants if the U.S. covered the cost. Maria Fernanda Bosmowski is Director, Impact and Operations and Lead for Central America at the think tank Atlantic Council, and she joins us now. Good to have you with us. So, Donald Trump's demanding that the Panama Canal should come back under U.S. control. Panama's president, however, has ruled out a canal debate, offering instead technical talks and also help on migration. Can they make a deal?
I think so. I think that the Panamanian government is very pro-U.S. They understand the need for a good working relationship with the United States. And we've seen that in the past, the United States and Panama have had a great working relationship. The president of Panama, José Raul Mulino, has said several times that Panama's sovereignty and control over the canal is not up for negotiation. However, he has offered to show that there is no Chinese influence currently swaying over the operations of the canal. The main concern stems from two ports at either side of the waterway, one in the Pacific and one in the Atlantic. But that company is currently undergoing a financial audit that will show the degree or lack thereof of Chinese influence over the canal's operations.
Well, Marco Rubio says that China's influence around the Panama Canal is, quote, unacceptable. And President Mulino says that he won't renew the Panama-China agreement. Somehow that sounds like Panama is meeting the U.S. halfway.
I think they're meeting halfway. The president's comments were about Panama renewing their commitment to the Belt and Road Initiative. Panama initiated relations with China back in 2017. And already we saw a few years ago, China wanted to build an embassy near the canal. The U.S. had raised concerns. Panama stopped that. But the president of Panama also raised concerns with the United States. For many years, there have been important diplomatic posts in the U.S. embassy that have remained unfilled. And so that's created a vacuum where other powers like China have seen an opportunity to step in. So both sides have to yield, both sides have to work together in order to curb Chinese influence and investment in the canal and its surrounding ports.
Now, what's interesting also is that normally America's top diplomats have favored Europe or Asia for the first visits in office. Marco Rubio not only visited Panama now, he will also visit El Salvador, Guatemala, Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic. What can we read into this? Is this a strategic shift on the side of the United States? Does it have to do with the fact that Rubio is Cuban-American? What do you think?
I think it's a mix of all of the above. It's really encouraging that the administration has prioritized the region and the neighborhood in which they live. As Marco Rubio said recently in an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, this is an America's first administration. And he's really showing that. He's walking the talk. He's going to the region. He's meeting with very pragmatic leaders. And he's meeting them to talk about migration. He's meeting them to talk about security. These are issues that the governments in the countries care about. So it's not only U.S. interests. There is an opportunity here for striking win-win partnerships and agreements. Really, I think it was about time for the region to see the United States say, hey, we're here to help, let's work together, let's make this a better neighborhood and hemisphere.
So it's America first, including obviously Latin America as well. And of course, we know that the US and Panama share many common interests. You mentioned some of them already, stopping unauthorized migration, fighting criminal gangs, drug trafficking. At the same time, though, there is the issue with the Panama Canal and Chinese influence, as the US would say. And Marco Rubio said that the US would intervene if Panama doesn't deal with China's influence. Do you think the US is ready to harm those relations over the Panama Canal?
I don't think so. I think that, again, there is a willingness from both parties to find a middle ground. I think that Panama is putting evidence on the table that there is no Chinese control whatsoever over the canal. The canal is operated by Panama. The Panama Canal Authority is an independent agency that counts with its own engineers, Panamanian engineers. They operate the waterway. There are ports that are being controlled by other countries. It's not just China. It's not just the United States. There are some ports that are controlled by or that are owned by Singapore. So I think that at the end of the day, a very concrete way to address any concerns over any extra undue Chinese influence is for there to be more opportunities for US or Western investments to come into the canal.
All right, Maria Fernanda Bosmowski from the Atlantic Council, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your insights with us.
Thanks.